ladies and gentlemen, to JWF Monday Night Ignition. I'm your host, Silver Spoon, joined by a man who's gonna be rumbling in the jungle in this Sunday. It's Captain Tibbs.
And let me tell you something, Sills. It's time to rumble, because 2021's here, and the shit hasn't stopped.
That is right. This Sunday, the Regal Rumble is coming to you live on the Fight Boys YouTube channel. Of course, main evented by none other than the Regal Rumble match itself. 30 men enter that ring, Tibbs, but only one can leave with a shot at glory at WrestlePalooza, a WrestlePalooza main event, and quite possibly becoming our next JWF World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, Tibbs, it is beyond, like, we have seen what this has done to careers in the past. Look at guys like Scottye Moore. Scottye Moore, he kind of was going in the mid-card for a while, won the Regal Rumble, and ever since, he has been a dominant force in our company. I mean, if you win the Regal Rumble this Sunday, it could skyrocket you to superstardom.
Of course, Sills, the Regal Rumble is... I love it because it starts the year off with a bang, and it makes sure we set the pace for the rest of the year. Because you start here, you toss 30 guys over the top rope, and then you go straight to WrestlePalooza.
That is right, Tibbs, but one man who's actually looking to make a completely different impact at the Regal Rumble is none other than our captain's champion himself, Blake Tanner, a man who has been trying his best to climb back to the top of the mountain, try to summit. I mean, we've talked about Blake Tanner in the past. His accolades are unprecedented in this company, but as of late, he's been struggling to get that acclaim of the past, and I'll be honest, part of it may fall on Blake, but another part of it may fall on the fact that for some reason the damn WWE keeps interfering in all of his matches.
Still don't know why I'm doing that. Vince has been blocking all of my calls, Sills. I even went down to Connecticut, my own damn self, and I got lost.
That is right, Tibbs, but Blake Tanner last week said he had a plan to put an end to all of this WWE ridiculousness, and the captain's champ is in our ring right now, and Tibbs, I'll be honest, I'm interested to hear what he has to say.
Oh, hey, look. A champion is actually in the ring, starting this show by talking to the audience. Wow! How progressive of the JWF to actually give a champion a modicum of respect in this day and age. I'm dumbfounded. I mean, are you sure you want to do this, Tibbs? Don't you want your old pal, the Hammerman, to open the show up? Or, hey, how about we let Scotty go on a 20-minute monologue? That's going to be great. That's great for ratings, isn't it? That seems like fun. Well, since I'm here, and I have a live microphone, and I am the JWF Captain's Champion, and I deserve this moment in the sun, why don't I address the elephant in the room? The big, fat, greedy, bloated elephant known as the WWE. A company that people have been terrified to turn down in the past. I mean, that's why we all got into wrestling in the first place, right? To eventually go to WWE, to become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, to be the greatest among the great. Well, unfortunately for WWE, times have changed. The options for wrestlers have grown and grown over the past few years, and to be honest with you, I mean, I didn't come into this business to go to WWE, to get those big paychecks. I became a wrestler so I could do one thing, and one thing only. Wrestle. I know, big surprise, right? You know, that's what I've realized with all of these WWE guys coming in and interfering with my matches, that's the one thing I actually haven't seen them do. Wrestle. They come into the ring, they stare me down, they try to intimidate me, but God forbid what happens if they actually try to put their damn hands on me. As a matter of fact, they have tried to stay a very respectful 6 feet away. So that's why I've decided something. At the Regal Rumble, I'm going to invite the WWE to do the one thing that they don't seem to be able to do. I'm taking a page from my old buddy, the Dylan's Handbook, and I'm going to issue an open challenge to any WWE superstar to come and face me at the Regal Rumble. I don't care if it's Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Triple fucking H, the King of Kings himself, whoever, whatever. Send 10 guys after me. Come out to the ring on Sunday and let me show you exactly what Blake Tanner is made of and why I am the JWF Captain's Champion.
Okay. Tibbs, when they do that, when they issue these open challenges, do you have to pay for them? Like, for the guys to come in and wrestle? Because I do not think you've got the dosh for that. No offense.
Yeah, Sills, I'm not entirely sure at this point. I haven't been invoiced yet. I mean, they could just not show up. That's also a possibility, but when does that ever happen in wrestling?
I mean, did you have to pay Okada last year? Because, like, he fought the Dylan, and I have to imagine paying to fly him over would have been a lot.
No, I took him to Disney World.
Ah, okay. Well, Tibbs, I mean, that is an amazing matchup coming this Sunday. Blake Tanner versus any WWE talent, whoever that company wants to send to face off against our champion. They're going to be going toe-to-toe, but another match I'm looking forward to is a TLC match taking place between our tag team champions, Bananas in Pajamas, and the Rising Suns. And Tibbs, we know that there's been multitudes of tension built up between those two in the past.
100% Sills, and right now, it is so much pressure on the Rising Suns to not only beat Bananas in Pajamas, but to humiliate them the same way that Bananas in Pajamas humiliated the Rising Suns at the Tibby Awards.
That is right, but there is another match those two men are going to be in. I mean, the Hammerman, he announced it a long time ago. They are both going to be in the Regal Rumble, and you know that's going to lead to a little bit of dissension between them. I mean, Regal Rumble, that ain't a tag team match. That is all for one, none for all. And we've sent one of our top interviewers backstage with the Rising Suns to hear what their plans are headed into this year's Regal Rumble. Let's have a listen. Ladies and gentlemen, Don McDonald backstage here with the men who are set to go toe-to-toe with Bananas in Pajamas this Sunday at a TLC match, the Rising Suns. Now, boys, I actually want to ask you about the other match you'll be in that night, the Regal Rumble, and what may happen when you two finally come to blows in that match. What's gonna happen? That's the question. What's gonna happen between me and FOMO-san? Wait, do you really think a fight is gonna break us up? No. FOMO and I have fought before. We'll fight again this Sunday, and hell, I'm sure we'll fight again further down the road. But the one thing that remains, despite all of that, is that we are family. We were forced to fight our own brothers in the VWO and JWF's first ever First Blood match just a few short weeks ago. And have you heard anything about that since? Anything about the VWO imploding? No, because we're family. We're brothers. And we fight. That's just what we do. Yes, and that's why I need to tell you, Hammerman. The last time we stepped into a ring together, you got the victory. But that was in a one-on-one match. Nothing on the line, no history to be made. But this Sunday, it is a different story. This Sunday, the biggest prize in the professional wrestling industry is on the line. And believe me, I will not hesitate to kick your teeth down your throat and throw you over that top rope. But, as you said, that shouldn't be a problem. After all, we're brothers. Right? Yeah, no problem at all. Well, I guess that sums that up. This Sunday, the Rising Suns are coming to fight, and they're coming to win at any cost. Back to you at the studio.
Why did Fomo-san sound so menacing when he talked about kicking in the Hammerman's teeth?
I think that's just how he talks. I mean, that's just kind of the way his voice is.
I guess so. I felt like there was something in there, though. I don't like it, Sills. This is what happens when Rumble season comes around.
That is right, but right now we have got not a Rumble, but a tag team match as the VWO take on the wild-eyed Southern Boys. And Tibbs, we have seen this match happen numerous times in the past. I mean, like we said, basically this year's Bananas in Pajamas versus Rising Suns feud is essentially wild-eyed Southern Boys versus VWO last year. I mean, these men have spent their entire careers here in this company torturing the VWO, and you know they want some revenge.
Of course, Sills, almost, it's been just a little over a year now. Of course, the last Tibby Awards, we know how that went. The one before, 2019, that was the
that
year.
One. Yeah.
That one.
Well, Tibbs, as you can see, the VWO heading out to the ring, but oh my God, from out of nowhere, the wild-eyed Southern Boys just ambushing them. I mean, look at this, they are beating the hell out of each other on the ramp. They ain't gonna be waiting for the match to begin. There's a brawl happening right now, my God.
All right, Sills, I guess there was a little bit more frustration than I thought. I guess a year wasn't enough to settle things down between these two teams.
That's right. Meanwhile, Justin Clouds, oh my God, look at that, picking up a trash can from our crowd and cracking it over the skull of Houston Longhorn. Meanwhile, Sam Adams getting into the ring, brawling back and forth with Griffin, and oh, look at this. Look at this. Griffin picking up Sam, trying to toss him over the top rope. Wait a minute, Tibbs, is this what I think it is?
Ah, shit, it is, isn't it? Ah, damn it, it's the go-home show! Go-home show for the Rumble, baby! You know what that means, Sills!
That's right, it's officially time for that moment before a Rumble where everyone comes into the ring and throws people over the top for no discernible good reason. And oh, Sam getting dumped over the top as the VWO are going face to face with Houston Longhorn. But then, oh, Griffin takes Houston over as well with a big lariat. But unfortunately, look on the ramp. Here comes the rest of the Hart Americans. AJ Steele, Spider Lockhart, they are rushing the ring, going toe-to-toe with the VWO. Who will be dumped over the top first in this thing that doesn't matter?
I don't know, Sills, it doesn't matter. This isn't the match. There is nothing to gain by doing this and literally everything to lose. What if somebody got a concussion? What if somebody broke their arm, Sills? They wouldn't be in the damn match. I can tell you that.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Here comes the rest of the entire roster. Funky Flossie, Scottye Moore, Big Cyrus Crane, all rushing out. The ring is getting very, very full of individuals. And oh, look at that, the lumberjack, a big man getting tossed over the top. That boy don't even work for us anymore.
No, he's JXT now. Why the fuck's he here?
I don't know, but oh, there's Coach and Friend. Coach and Friend coming out to the ring, but oh, Tibbs, we like to joke. We like to say this doesn't matter, but there's one man who's about to make this matter, and it's him, the owner of the Second Wind, Robert Hill. He's coming out, and he is just clearing house at this random brawl that is absolutely not what's going to happen at the Rumble. Ooh, out goes Scottye. Out goes Coach and Friend. Robert Hill going crazy in the ring.
Sills, it's almost like he's being built up to fail. I don't understand.
Oh, but look at this, the War Wizard coming face to face with Robert Hill, telling him to pick on his own size. But oh my God, look at this, Robert with the strength picking up the War Wizard and just throwing him over the top rope into that pile of humanity. But wait a minute, Robert thrown over the top rope, by the Rising Suns, together eliminating Robert Hill. And now, wait, Fomo just threw the Hammerman out. Fomo just grabbed the Hammerman, tossed him to the outside, and there's just one man left in this random brawl that absolutely didn't matter, and it is Fomo-san.
My God, Sills, he did exactly what he said he was gonna do 5 minutes ago.
What an absolute display there in that match that was absolutely not a match, but you know that is a lot of momentum for FOMO-san heading in to the Regal Rumble.
Of course, Sills, and I'm just gonna take that original match in the scorebook and write that, just cross it out. There we go.
That is right, but we've been talking about Blake Tanner's open challenge to the WWE. We've been talking about the Regal Rumble. We've been talking about that TLC match, but there's one grudge match that I cannot wait to see. No disqualifications is going to be happening when Funky Flossie takes on Scottye Moore. And hell, you know this is a real teacher versus student situation. Scottye Moore brought Funky Flossie into this company, and according to Scottye, Funky didn't behave well enough. He had not been performing to the level Scottye had expected, and in that way, Scottye forced Funky to be punished. I mean, broke the man's arm, dropped him into the mat, and it wasn't until Funky made a tremendous return and won a battle royal that it gave him access to fight Scottye Moore at the Regal Rumble. And Tibbs, you know Funky Flossie is excited for this.
I would be too, Sills, to get another shot at Scottye Moore's pompous face right now, but he broke my back again, so I'm gonna put all my hopes on Funky. Hopes on Funky, Sills.
That is right, and Funky Flossie, after just a couple of short weeks ago when he was assaulted backstage by Scottye Moore, he has returned, and he has a message for Scottye Moore and the entire JWF universe. So why don't we turn it over to one of our top interviewers to hear what Funky Flossie has to say.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Honeypot Real Big Sandwich here, with the man who's stepping into the ring against Scottye Moore this Sunday in a no disqualification match, Funky Flossie. Now, Funky, does this added stipulation to your match affect your game plan heading into it?
All right, look, baby, I know exactly what Scottye Moore was doing when he put that stipulation on this match. He says that it was for the benefit of myself, but I know for a damn fact that Scottye knows he can't beat me in a one-on-one situation. But he knew where he could win. In his own personal playground with kendo sticks, steel chairs, and all sorts of violent materials around the ring. He wanted to take the coward's way out. Well, Scottye, I've seen the lengths you've gone to in these kind of matches. I've seen you hit an SMG from the top of a ladder to the outside of the ring. I've seen you throw men from tables from the top of the turnbuckle. I know what Scottye Moore is like in a no DQ situation, and I'll tell you right now, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to take every chair shot, every SMG, every kendo stick strike, and I'm also ready to kick your head off its shoulders and prove to this entire company that Funky Flossie ain't a joke and that I deserve to be here in the JWF. You see, this company is mine for the taking, and this year will be the year where Funky Flossie arrives here in the JWF. And it begins this Sunday, Honey Pop, when I pin Scottye Moore to the mat and finally shut the mouth of one of the most egomaniacal, self-serving shitheads in the history of the JWF. Well, Tibbs, a big fire behind Funky Flossie heading into this match. And you know, we've said it before, this is kind of do or die for Funky Flossie. He has not been impressing much in this company, and if he loses against Scottye Moore this Sunday, I don't know what's next for him.
No, Sills, it's going to be a hard road for Funky Flossie should he lose, which is why Tibbs is going to believe. Tibbs is going to hope. Tibbs is going to live in a world where hope actually still exists. Not like our world, but a world of Tibbs' own creation. And that's a world where Funky Flossie wins. And if Funky Flossie wins, Sills, I'm going to tell you that brave new world is one worth living in.
Grim words, but active words there, Tibbs. But another man who is in a do or die situation this Sunday is your son, Chuck Tibbs going toe-to-toe with Guy Fieri for the JWF World Heavyweight Championship. And Guy Fieri, he said it. He made it clear. If you don't beat me this Sunday, you're not challenging for this title again as long as this belt is around my waist. And you know that Chuck Tibbs definitely wants to make sure that reality doesn't come true.
Absolutely, Silves. As champion, of course, you get to make one of those declarations per championship run. So Guy Fieri will be using up his one against Chuck Tibbs should he beat Chuck, which I don't believe he's going to beat Chuck. Let me just put it out there and say, Guy Fieri, we all know that he's not been on the hottest streak right now, you know, Sills?
That is right. But who knows, whoever walks out of this match may be going on to face the man who wins the Regal Rumble at WrestlePalooza. So, could be Chuck Tibbs, could be Guy Fieri, who knows? But Guy Fieri has returned to this company. He has the belt around his waist, and he is in the ring right now. So why don't we hear what the King of Flavortown has to say?
So last week, Chuck Tibbs had himself a nice little sit-down interview with Silver Spoon, and he told the world his harrowing tale of self-discovery. How throughout his entire career, he was trying to be something he wasn't. And you know something, Chuck? I understand. I get it. I spent my entire career trying to be someone I wasn't too. I mean, I was trying to be someone who thought it was okay to sit aside while the rest of the company went on to great success. I was someone who thought that my time would just come naturally. I was someone who thought that the JWF title was something that was awarded. And one day, I realized it wasn't. No. Success is not an award. Success is something you take with force. And Chuck, you know all too well what happens now when Guy Fieri wants something. He takes it. Just like I took this title from you, remember? And you see, that's where Chuck's little fairy tale he was telling last week gets a little messy. Because he thought his fairy tale ending would come at the Regal Rumble, where the real Chuck Tibbs was going to pin me and become the JWF champion. Well, Chuck, as the only real man in this company, the only real champion in this company, I gotta tell ya, I don't care who comes out at the Regal Rumble. I don't care who you really are. Because everybody bleeds and everybody's skull cracks. And when the right hand of Fieri meets your head, it won't matter how real you are. The only thing that's real is Guy Fieri and his JWF World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Tibbs, Guy Fieri, of course, referencing last week's interview I had with Chuck Tibbs, where he claimed that much of his success throughout his career was really piggybacking off of others and saying that he wanted to bring the real Chuck Tibbs to the Rumble. But it looks like Guy Fieri says it don't matter how real you are. All that's real is a right fist to the face.
Well, Sills, Guy Fieri does have a point there, but you don't know how hard the head of Chuck Tibbs, the real Chuck Tibbs, is, and he might just be breaking his hand.
That is right. Now, well, speaking of the real Chuck Tibbs, Chuck coming out to the ring right now. You can hear his music. He has got a microphone, and he does not look happy with what Guy Fieri's been spitting. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Oh, so Guy, that's it. You think you did all this on your own, huh? You think you just walked into this ring and took that title because you could? Because that was it? No. I think things went a little differently than you remember if you want to talk about people making fairy tales. Because here's the truth, Guy Fieri. You never would have had that match if my father didn't want you to. And he wouldn't have wanted you to if these fans here didn't want to see it. You know? I've been realizing something, Guy. Especially listening to you talk. It's what being a champion of this company means. It means delivering. Means delivering on every single statement you make inside that ring. It means making sure all of these fans out here have made the right decision when they backed you and say that you deserve that spot. It means making sure my father made the right decision when he gave you the opportunity to win that title. It means coming out and delivering, Guy Fieri. And whether you like it or not, whether you're willing to admit it or not, you haven't been delivering, have you? You know, if that ring didn't collapse back at Scottye Mania, you wouldn't even have that title, would you? You lost at Scottye Mania. You lost at Crossing the Line. You've done nothing for this company, Guy Fieri. But you don't care, do you? You don't care because you've got that belt, and that's all you ever really wanted. That means you're the best, right? Having the belt, being able to prance around with it every day. Believe me when I say this, Guy. That title doesn't make you great. You are what makes the belt great. The champion makes the belt. The belt doesn't make the champion. And ever since you've won it, you failed. And that belt is meaningless. So this Sunday, I'm going to come to the Regal Rumble and give the JWF a champion that's going to deliver.
Well, Tibbs, I thought Funky Flossie was fired up, but your boy just came out here and destroyed Guy Fieri. I mean, listen to what that boy had to say. I mean, and I gotta say, I agree with him. We've seen it in the past here in the JWF. We've had some champions that make that title feel prestigious. Think about Momoa Curry. Think about Blake Tanner. Men who have held that title for a long time, but also we've had a few Brunch Boy Barons and, dare I say it, Guy Fieri's in the past who have almost made the belt feel like a joke. And I gotta say, I agree with Chuck Tibbs. I think we need champions that make those belts feel important. And I think Chuck Tibbs would be the one to do that.
I think so too, Sills, especially hearing that impassioned plea, especially hearing Chuck just send Guy Fieri down the river like that. That's made me realize what we've been missing in this company, Sills. We haven't had a champion that's worth a damn in the last 4 months.
That is right, Tibbs, but maybe we will this Sunday when Guy Fieri goes toe-to-toe with Chuck Tibbs with the JWF Championship on the line. In addition, Bananas in Pajamas will defend their titles against the Rising Suns in a TLC match, which we've already said can't miss kind of match. Funky Flossie versus Scottye Moore. Blake Tanner issuing a challenge to the WWE. And most importantly, I don't think we can talk it up enough, the Regal Rumble match. And every year, the Regal Rumble delivers on surprises. We've seen returns, we've seen debuts, and who knows what we're going to see this Sunday at the Regal Rumble.
Well, Sills, I can't give anything away, and even I don't know all the twists and turns we're going to see here. But I can tell you, can't miss.
That's right, and you can find that on the official Fight Boys YouTube channel. But before then, if you want to support the JWF, remember you can on patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. We do extra content for you there every single week, and you can get it just by donating at patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. Or if you want to support a direct superstar, you can by picking up their merchandise at merch.aloadofpurebs.com.
That's right, Sills. We got a lot of great merch out there. We got a lot of great things for people that support this network that we're proud to be a part of.
That's right, but until this Sunday, he's been Captain Tibbs, I've been Silver Spoon, and this has been JWF Monday Night Ignition. And we will see you next time.